Hi, this is Terry Gunn. Let's talk for a few minutes about the slides that we're going to create. The concept is simple. We're trying to get as much content as we can on the internet. Just yesterday or day before, a couple days ago, I created a 30-minute audio recording. So what I'm going to do is use that audio recording, but I'm also going to transcribe it, which will give me a text file, which I can use as a blog post. I can separate it into smaller segments and make articles. And from each of those articles, I can make little videos using what I'm getting ready to show you right now. I'm going to show you how to make the slides for those little videos. So it's all about getting good content. What I have up right now is Microsoft PowerPoint. If your computer has Microsoft on it, then you most likely have PowerPoint. And PowerPoint is as good as OpenOffice. It doesn't really matter. You can use either one. They both have their pluses and their minuses, but they're not very large pluses and minuses. They're very similar, and they both will get the job done. Once you get it open, you can pretty well do anything you want to with these slides. If I right-click on this slide, I can format the background. I can make it a solid fill, decide what color I want. And then you see all these other slides over here? I never did use this one. I set it up in PowerPoint, and then I did change my mind. I decided to use OpenOffice just for the purposes of showing you the free method in case you don't have PowerPoint. But I can hit apply to all, and all of them become blue. If that's too dark, I can go back here and make it a light blue. Apply to all, and they're all that way. If I don't want a solid fill, I can use a gradient. That's pretty ugly. And the preset colors, you can use those, or you can set them one at a time and make your own. Once you get these gradients in place, you can move these little guys here around, and it moves the spots where the colors change, and you can play with them and come up with all kinds of different variations with these gradients. It's really pretty unlimited. If you had a design in mind, something specific, if you wanted that bottom white, look at there. There's the bottom white. I mean, you can just do anything you want to, apply to all, and close. So to type, it's just a matter of highlighting and typing, just like you would any word processor. No big deal. And you can change the size by going up here to the box for the font size. And again, you've done this before with your word processor. You can do anything you want there. You can change the color of the font right there. Anything you decide you want it to be, from pretty to pretty ugly, however you want to do it. You right click when there's a red line under there, you right click and it'll tell you if you got something spelled wrong. Well, they want it two different words. That's fine with me. So then we'll capitalize this one. Whatever works. This is Microsoft PowerPoint. And once you're done, you can export these slides one at a time, or you can export them all at once into a folder, or you can export it as a presentation, as a PDF, as JPEGs. All of those options are available in PowerPoint, and you can do the same thing with OpenOffice. If you don't have PowerPoint, you can go to Google, which is what I have just done, and you can Google OpenOffice, and there it is, Apache OpenOffice. And all you got to do is figure out how to download it. I would think right there's the download button. Download a full installation, and you're on your way. Now, I'm not going to do this because I already have OpenOffice on my computer, but there's the download link. And here is OpenOffice. And it's very comparable to Microsoft in that you have a text document, which would be equivalent of Microsoft Word, the spreadsheet, which would be the equivalent of Excel, and the presentation, which would be the equivalent of PowerPoint. And then you have others. You have database drawing, formulas. All this stuff is available. I can open one that I have already created. In this case, I think we'll start with a brand new one just for the purposes of this demonstration. We'll start with an empty presentation. And right off the bat, we can decide what kind of background we want. If you want a blue border, blue lines and gradients, blue and gray, there we go. That's better. And it goes on and on. There's no point in me clicking through all of these. You can play around with it and come up with something that you like. The effects on the slide transitions, all kinds of different things will happen, and you have the choice as to how it looks when it does happen. There it is. I have just created my first slide. Click to add the title. This is my intro. And then I'm ready for my first slide. But before I get onto that, here's what I want to do next. I want to click over here, and I can either click this little icon right here to duplicate the slide. You see how that works? But then I have to find it again to duplicate it again. If I just right click on there and hit copy, then all I have to do is Control V as in victory, and a new one. Every time I hit Control V, I get a duplicate. So you can do that 8 or 10 times, 20, however many you want. Then go back to the top. Leave the first one as the intro, unless there's something else you want to say there. Go to number 2. Bring in your text document. The title C is Introduction. And let's get the first sentence. Control C for copy. And then we click to add text. Control V again. And there it is. Now, I don't much like the size of it, so we'll highlight it just like you would with any word processor, and we'll make it whatever size just happens to look good. We'll go with 40. Change the color to white. Right there. And then once you have that done, I should have kept it highlighted. Here we go. If you don't want it centered, you can, again, like any word processor, I can left justify it. These little guys up here are to center it horizontally, vertically, the top to the bottom, anything you want. If you want another text box, you go down here to the bottom, hit that T, and you can form another text box if you want a subtitle down low or up here or wherever you want it, and you can type in there. If you want to draw a line, just like Microsoft Word, you click the box and draw your line. There it is, and then you can make that line however long you want it, whatever color you want it. And that one says it's black. Let's make it ugly yellow. There you go. Okay? So then slide number 2 is done. Let's go to slide number 3. Go back, get our text file, and it shows you where we left off before, so all we got to do is start right there. And let's just put this whole thing in there. Control C. And go back to here. Control V. And then make it the same size as the other one. Same justification. We'll make it 40. Left justify. And we'll make it white. And there is slide number 3. You see how this is working? So I can take 8 or 10 slides, whatever it takes. Use this text doc and just break this up. So I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in this case 7 slides, plus the first slide and the last slide, which would make me 9 slides on a little bitty video. I can post this as an article. I can post the videos on YouTube. I can use this whole thing, which is, I don't know, however many pages it is, as an ebook. I can use segments of it, if not all of it, for a blog. You get the idea? I'm trying to show you how to make the most out of everything you do when it comes to content. And the slides are a critical part of that. They make making videos so much easier. So once the slides are put together, you need to save, of course. Save as whatever you want to call it. In this case, we'll just call it a test. It is saved. And then after you're done, you can export. I mentioned it a minute ago. You can export as a PDF. You can export as anything you want to. Here's a whole list of choices. A PNG, a JPEG, GIF. You can do anything you want to with these. Export them one slide at a time or as a package. In this case, I'm recording this whole thing with Cam Studio, so it's already a video. I hope this makes sense. It's so very simple. I would advise that you decide which one you want to use, OpenOffice or Microsoft PowerPoint. Don't go back and forth. There are enough differences that it can get a little bit confusing if you're going back and forth. So just decide on one and stick with it. Either one will get the job done, and you can make videos very easily. And you can get a bunch of them on YouTube, and you can start monopolizing whatever area you're dealing in with a lot of these little videos, and they'll be linked to your blog. They'll be linked to the articles that you post on your website or wherever else you want to post them. Get all this stuff linked together, and Google takes notice, and you'll start getting traffic from it all. Hope this helps. Later.